Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pooja Ghosh. Now, today we will learn about one of the famous terms in English literature, that is heteroglossia. Now, this term is basically associated with Mikhail Bakhtin. Now, let's looking for more details. Now, this term was basically introduced by Mikhail Bakhtin in his paper Discourse in Novel, that was published in 1934. This term is basically derived from the Greek language, meaning other languages. It refers, meaning the terms refer to many discourses occurring within a given language on micro-linguistic scale. So when in a context like in a novel, there are interplay of various voices of the characters, then we can consider it to be a heteroglossia. Now, Bakhtin borrowed it and employed it in explaining the narrative nature of modern novels. As I am explaining Bakhtin basically borrowed the term to explain the narrative nature in modern novels. So he points out that the modern novels are sides of competing utterances. So he says that modern novels are not monoglottic, right? So there are interplay of various voices of the characters, and the characters are liberated to speak up their minds. Bakhtin cites example of Dostoevsky and Tolstoy to explain this term more elaborately. He said that the novels of Dostoevsky are dialogic text, whereas the characters are liberated to speak up their minds using different discourses. The characters are not controlled by the author. So in many novels, you can see that there are interplay of diverse voices coming from different backgrounds, but their voices or their voices are not controlled by the actual author or third person narrator. So we can see the different viewpoints of the character from multiple perspectives. So there is greater scope for we can say for diversion or conflicts, right? So therefore the freedom is greater in this type of novel of Dostoevsky, where the voices can put their point of view irrespective of the authorial intention. So there greater scope of freedom, so than the voices in monoglottic text or novel. So he also cites another example of Tolstoy's novels, and he says that Tolstoy's novel are the monoglottic text or novel. So in Tolstoy novel, the characters are not given the freedom to speak up their minds without thinking that about the authorial voice. So in Tolstoy's novel, if you have read one of his magnum opus, so you can see that the characters are not liberated, meaning the everything, every context or every background is narrated by the author. So there is only single voice of the author. We can hear only his voice, but there are no other conflicting elements in speaking about coming up to our mind while reading the text. And therefore there are many voices rather than a single authorial voice whose presence makes like a godly authority. So here the omniscient or omnipresent narrator makes us feel like he's a god who knows everything, who knows everyone's point of view, meaning the every point of view of the characters that are present in a particular novel. So Bakhtin used the phrase another speech in another's language, serving to express the authorial intention but in a refracted way to signify heteroglossia. So you know what is heteroglossia? He used this term to specify what he means by using this. So it's another speech, mean in another's language, meaning there are diverse characters speaking of their different point of view, and each are equally liberated. Now, heteroglossia provides a greater scope for conflict by giving space for different types of voice to different characters. As I've said already, that they are liberated, they are given the freedom to speak up their minds. So Bakhtin applauds the novels of Dostoevsky. So Bakhtin, praises the novels or the narrative style that exist in Dostoevsky novel, for it is a greater example of modern text where there is the coexistence of different points of view, because he thinks that the modern novels are text where there are multiple voices coming up in a same context. So there is the greater scope for the conflict, or we can say different points of view. So that's the basic feature of modern novels, he says that. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood what I have said so far, and if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section. And apart from that, if you like my video, my style of teaching, please do subscribe my channel. And please let me know if you want to learn something uh, about another term. I will try to make that. Thank you so much.